So, hi ladies. So, block 6, we're doing paper piecing. So you've all got your foundation paper. So you're going to take this and you're going to cut out the different sections into rough, don't cut on the dotted line, cut away from the dotted line so you have 3 separate pieces. Okay, and they're all labeled Unit A, Unit B, and Unit C. We're going to start with Unit C today because it's simplest so we can learn the technique. So you're going to take your Unit C piece and it's labeled C1, C2, and C3. And that's the order in which you're going to add your fabric. So you're going to start with number 1. And I don't know if you've noticed, there's 2 different color variations, one for block 1 and one for block 2. So we're going to do the block 1. So we're going to start with the blue piece. Okay, so you're going to take this and you're going to lay it down on the counter. And I've used a white sheet of paper so it's easier to see through. You can use the light box or a window. Okay, and we're going to start with our fabric one, and that's the blue piece. Okay, and you're going to lay that down. Go?
Yes.
Okay, right, so we have our paper, right side's down, wrong side up. We're going to take our fabric, wrong side down, right side up, and you're going to lay it out over the piece for C1. Right, you're going to look it up, pick it up, and make sure that it's large enough to be a 1/4 inch outside of all of the solid lines for C1. Solid line is your stitching line, so you want a 1/4 inch out past all that. Okay, and so we're going to take our glue stick, we're going to add just a smidge of glue in that block for C1. The glue helps stabilize the fabric and keep it in place. We just need a little bit place while we're getting ready. Okay, so we'll lay that down, making sure that it extends a 1/4 inch down into C2. And now you're going to take, in the instructions, they've used a add a 1/4 tool with a tapered edge. I don't have that. Pick anything nice and flat, hard and smooth. A firm postcard, an old credit card will work. Okay, and we're going to fold along the line between C1 and C2. So you're going to take your paper and you're going to fold back along that line between C1 and C2. Okay. And then you're going to take a 1/4 inch, whether you have your add a 1/4, which has a 1/4 inch outline. You can use a ruler, right? My Creative Grids marks a 1/4 inch. We'll use that to trim that extra fabric a 1/4 inch. So you're going to line up the 1/4 inch marking with the fold of the paper, and you're going to trim that extra piece of fabric. Okay, so that gives us our 1/4 inch seam allowance. Okay, so now you're going to fold your paper back and turn it over so it's right side's down again. The right side of your fabric's facing up. You're going to take your fabric for C2, which is the background piece, the light blue, and you're going to line this up with that straight edge that you just trimmed. Okay, so we're going to line that up with that straight edge that we just trimmed. Okay, and just to make sure, you can estimate a 1/4 inch, fold it over, and make sure it's going to be large enough to fill in block C2. Okay, so that all looks good. So we'll line that up, and I like to pin this part in place. So you'll put in a couple pins just so nothing moves. Pin into my paper. Okay, and then you're going to take this to your sewing machine, and you're going to set your sewing machine. Your stitch length wants to be really tiny, so it's going to be easier to tear the paper. You're going to set it at 1.8 to 2, okay, and you're going to stitch on that solid line. But you're going to stitch from outside the dotted edge all the way down on the line past the dotted edge. Okay, we want our seam to extend the entire length of the block. Okay, and once you have that done, It's going to look like this. You've sewn from edge to edge. Okay, you're going to take that to your ironing board and you're going to press towards C2. Okay, just like that. And then we're going to repeat the process. We're going to turn this over, take our credit card, postcard, and fold back along the solid line between C2 and C3. Okay, take our 1/4 inch, put that 1/4 inch marking on the fold of the paper. Okay, and trim our C2 piece that extends out over. So we have our 1/4 inch seam allowance for C2. We'll fold our paper back. And now we're ready to add C3. You'll take your fabric for C3. For block 1 is the purple. Okay, and you're going to line that up with that cut edge. You're going to pin that in place. Okay, and again you're going to sew on the straight line the entire length of the block, extending outside of the dashed edges. Okay, and once you have that sewn, you're going to press that towards C3, like that. And we're almost there. Now you're going to take your block and you're going to trim on the dashed lines. What I've done was take my ruler, my 1/4 inch marking, and put the 1/4 inch on the solid line. Okay, and you can see how you're going to cut now on that dashed line. Take your ruler, your rotary cutter, and trim all 4 sides. Okay, and I would have taken this to my iron. Good finger press is good. And the last 2 sides. And there you have Unit C completed. We'll keep the paper on until we have the blocks assembled.